is up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. Um, with the off season underway, we just did a podcast episode on breaking down the Atlantic division. Uh, Going forward, we're just going to go division by division, looking at what teams should and might end up doing. But today, we're going to take a look at LaMelo Ball. Just a couple highlights from his time in the NBL. We're gonna look at one where I think he goes 32 points, 13 assists, and then another game where he had a triple double. And hopefully down the line we'll get to Anthony Edwards, Denny, a couple of the other draft prospects. But yeah, we'll start right here. Let's see. So everything we see here in these videos, we're gonna have to take that information, understanding that this is the the NBL, right? And no disrespect to them, and it's still a professional basketball league, right? So like Lamelo um, still has to deal with the crowd and the media and all of that. And at his age, to be able to handle that away from home, and still takes a certain level of maturity, which I think is one of the things people had kind of been questioning prior to last season. Um, with his history and what him and his dad were kind of known as in the media, whether it's true or not, and whether it's fair or not. There was this, reputation of him being possibly immature, whatnot. But played pretty solid over there in the NBL from what I've seen and heard. Um, as is the case for even again D1 players, whatever he's doing at this level is going to be way harder. People are stronger, faster, better, better coaches, better scouting. Everything is at an all-time high level, right, in the NBA. So obviously, there's going to be an adjustment period, and with a big thing with if the NBA is to start around Christmas Day, which is what they're really pushing for, might get really hard for rookies to acclimate themselves to the level of the NBA, whether it be the schedule, the the conditioning, the strength, the speed, everything that is at the highest level in the NBA. And if it does start December, rookies are going to have even shorter of a time. Might not have the traditional summer league or preseason and a full training camp to really get at least some experience going into the season. That, and on top of the proposed, I think it's 72 games. So having 10 less games could be a tough season for some of the rookies coming in. But again, so we'll just keep that in mind. Gets a nice shot off here. Obviously, every team wants a guard with the ability to shoot, and range is something that um, has been kind of attached to LaMelo's name ever since he shot that ridiculous half-court shot, right? But you can say what you want about his form. Um, is it perfect? No, but he is a bigger guard, and sometimes you can get away with it. And I think at this point, obviously, in an ideal situation, you want perfect form. You want, Clay Thompson like form on your jump shot. But if you get enough reps, you can be a good shooter, right? Kevin Martin shot, for those of you if you don't know who that is, go look him up. Played for Sacramento, OKC. Um, his shot form was far from perfect, but shot around, high 80s and from the free throw line. Good 3-point shooter. Reggie Miller, synonymous, one of the highly, regarded as one of the all-time best shooters His form wasn't perfect. Um, Kyrie even has the thumb flick. You're gonna see guys that don't have perfect form. If you can knock it down though, if you have enough reps, it works. And LaMelo at this age is further in his shot than Lonzo was. And while again LaMelo's form isn't perfect, I would still say it's better than how Lonzo's was. It's fluid. He is at least shooting it from the right side of his body. Quick release, and again at his height, I think it'll work. And you can see the right, like that's not just like NBA three. That's a whole foot behind NBA three. And he's shooting with confidence, which I think is the biggest thing. Um, if you've ever played basketball um, or shot a basketball, I think you would know that the mental aspect is half of the game. Um, because if you don't think it's going in when you shoot it, like if you're not ready, if you don't believe it's going in, if you don't want to shoot it, chances are it's not going in. So, it's another thing I think you have to look at. Are they willing? Are they confident in their shot? And in this case, you can see, um, seems like it. Right. So we'll let that go. And you can see from the atmosphere, like the crowds, they're not just playing in some like small gym like this. This is a professional league. See him doing this move a couple times in the upcoming clips, but he really likes to go to that hesitation. Um, especially with that lanky build and that wingspan. Because right, ideally, if you're a guard, you want to be low, you want to dribble low, easier change of direction, and just easier to be quick. But kind of like KD, like KD has a pretty nice handle, but he gets pretty low. But he's not like on the ground. Like if you look at like the guys that are the best at that are like Kemba Walker, Isaiah Thomas, like they get super low to the ground. And obviously, it's harder to do that if you're 6'7", like LaMelo, or 7 foot like KD. Um, but he's able to use that little head fake and hezzy under control, knows what he wants. I mean, he very easily could have baited himself into taking this shot, but sees right. And if you talk to good players, they're gonna tell you that they're gonna have most you know talented offensive players. They're confident in being able to get past the initial defender, whether it's with whether it's an ISO or pick and roll, whatever. But that primary guy usually isn't the problem. Um, what they're really looking at is where is the help defense, right? So Lamelo's looking here, here, and here, and this guy's not even out of the picture, right? So you're looking at Lamelo's looking here, here, and here. He could take this shot. Not an awful shot, right? I mean, probably coming down on a fast break, not the shot you want, but I mean, who knows? Maybe you live with that shot. But again, if you're especially a guard, but if you're point guard and a scorer in general, again, you're looking at help, right? You're looking at the help defense. This guy stick here. This guy has to help here because he's late, and this guy's here. And I don't know the 3-point percentages of the teammates here, but they got three guys on the outside. Defense has to stick with them, which means all of this is open, right? So Lamelo sees that. Again, he could take the three, but he sees this wide open lane here and does a great job of attacking, right? And now this help defender does a really nice job, right? Because the guy who was trailing here ends up just picking here up, so the guy who was guarding here now drops down. And LaMelo, this is where I think is another thing you have to look at for young guys coming in. They're gonna be playing against guys who are stronger, guys who are big. How are guards gonna be able to finish at that next level? And LaMelo, I mean, he has the advantage of size, right? Because a lot of point guards they come into the league being able to dunk, but they come into the league being they have to rely on their floater, being able to go left and right, mid range game. Um, Obviously, some of the bigger guards are going to be able to actually get up, finish strong, go out for dunks. Lamelo can do that, but and I think we've all seen highlights of him being able to finish, has the finger roll, plays the backboard pretty well, and you can see him doing that here. Goes up from the left side, takes the contact, finishes on the right hand side. Really difficult finish. Does a nice job of using the basket, the backboard, and the rim as protection, so the defender can't get to it, right? Because if you use the defender can't go up through the rim or through the hoop to block it because that's goaltending. Does a nice job. Uses the hoop for protection. Goes up strong. Uh, Really nice finish there. He's and this might not seem like much, but I do like this right here. This little stop right here, if we let it roll a bit, right, he ends up getting a dunk off of this. But I want you to keep an eye on that split second of a stop right there, because that's what allows him to explode to the rim. See if I can get it the right. Because if he just if he doesn't hesitate for a split second, there's a chance that this guy can just step in here and block Lamelo's path to the basket, and then he can just this trailing defender can just switch right. But I mean, this patience isn't something that you can just have. You have to be confident with the ball, be able to read the floor. Um, and again, does a nice job of taking that split second to make sure that he's going here so that he can drive to the basket. And then ideally, right, off of that patience, he's reading because let's say if he stays and comes up here, then shooter here can either spot up here and then LaMelo can get the ball out, or if that defender is popping up to stop Melo, he can then cut. Melo can, pump fake, bounce pass. And this is kind of just me going into offenses in general. This isn't just LaMelo, right? Kind of like what we did with the Miami Lakers series, right? Because if this guy steps up, he can go out, and LaMelo can get it to him. He can cut. LaMelo can give him the bounce pass. Then defender might come down, and then you have easy corner pass here. Or again, if he comes up, let's say instead of going out to the side, he cuts, and instead of LaMelo passing it to him, he waits a little bit. This defender cheats up, then you just pass it to him. Um, but that little patience can be the difference in opening things up. Obviously, you want to play fast, you want to be aggressive, you want to play north south. But I think one of the problems with a guy like, and I think the biggest name that comes up is Russell Westbrook. I love watching him play at the speed he plays at with the aggression, but a big thing with point guards is knowing one the patience. What that usually goes hand in hand with being able to play at different speeds. And like Chris Paul's a guy that's really good at that. Um, Obviously, these guys are all a lot of the all of most, if not all, of the point guards in the NBA are good athletes compared to your average Joe. But there are guards in the league who aren't elite athletes within the NBA who aren't the quickest or the fastest, but they're still able to make the right decisions or find openings, get to the basket because of, just little things like this where you hold the ball for a split second, you look someone off, or you again, it's easy to just go 100 miles an hour, you know, north south, but being able to change speeds, change pace, having a little bit of that, um, craftiness here and there can make a huge difference if you're a guard coming up. Learning when to speed up, when to speed down, could make you seem a lot more faster than you're actually going. Because if you're able to go 0 to 60, then 60 to 20, then 20 to 80, because you have the advantage. If you're a skilled offensive player, you know what you want to do. You can read the defense. You just take what they're giving you, right? But if you're just going 0 to 100, 100 to 0, 0 to 100 every single time, that's a lot easier for a defense to keep up with you, right? Because once they get to that 100, even if your 100, percent is faster than their 100%, like they're just gonna be able to at least ride you and kind of help dictate where you're going. If you have change of direction and change of speed, you know, makes it a lot harder to keep up with you, even if you're not faster than the guy that's guarding you. Um, but yeah, good patience here. He ends up getting a nice dunk. Goes up strong though. Again, I think it's a you know, good thing to keep track of. Just not only the ability to finish strong, but the mentality of really taking it to the basket. This is just a big shot again. Shooting it confidently, smooth jump shot from far out. Obviously, you can see in the score there. It's the shot that sends it to overtime. You want, especially if you're gonna take some of these kids that with your lottery pick, you want to make sure that they're mentally confident, that they're strong, they want the big shot. Because that's something you can't teach. That killer instinct, that confidence. It's hard to teach, right? See someone that at that age being able to take a shot like that in a big moment, definitely good to see. Not much to break down there, but you do see he likes going to that hesitation. Taking it strong to the basket again, right there. Being able to finish with the left hand too is definitely a key, right? There's one more video. Um, Nothing too difficult, but that floater, obviously something. At his height, again, we've seen him being able to take it to the basket, taking it strong, finishing left and right off the glass, being even able to, go for the dunk in transition, by the way. And then he has the 3-point shot. We know he has the ability to pass it, can read the floor pretty well. Um, and then you have the floater for that little in between game. Um, really pretty there. He gets put in a pretty difficult position here where he has to guard two guys because, they're trapping here. And he has the size, speed, and the awareness to position in a pretty good spot. He can guard both. And he's able to get the steal here. And this is where he's probably going to be most effective, especially early on in his career. Is in transition with his height, um, his athleticism, and his vision. Because he's a guy at his height, again, he's going to be able to get the rebound and push it. And we've seen time and time again in today's NBA how big of an advantage that is. You got guys like Ben Simmons. Jokic does it in a different way, but Jokic. Um, Even a guy like Embiid at times. And obviously you have guys like LeBron, KD, Giannis at the elite level. The ability to get the rebound and just go, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why the outlet pass has kind of been eliminated. Because you have all these guys that can, just take it and run. Um, go down the floor and just finish or get their team an easy basket. But it's just an elite skill to have, and it helps your offense out so much because again, if players aren't as good at outlet passes, um, or they're just not looking for it, you if you have a player who can do this, again, get the rebound and go, get a steal and go, and make the right decision, whether it's finishing or passing, you can get so many easy baskets a game off of that, right? If your team plays even solid defense, you think about the amount of you know rebound and go opportunities, the amount of transition opportunities you have. You could get a lot of easy points for a team like that, and if obviously a lot of the teams besides the Warriors who are picking in that upper echelon, 1 to 3, 1 to 5 area where Lamelo's probably going to go, chances are your team's not very good, right? At least right now. So having a guy like this come in to a team that's struggling, huge, huge boost to your offense right here. Right, gets the steal. He's pushing it, pushing it. He probably could have had the pass to the guy cutting from the left side here. Does a nice job though. For a young player, if you're a guard or just bringing the ball up fast break, you want to attack the middle. A lot of times, if you're playing like pickup or in the league, guys are bringing the ball up here or here. Um, just a bad idea in general, right? We'll say the defense in blue, right? If you're bringing the ball up on the sides, it's easy for the defense to stop you, right? You can we use the top side just because you can see it, but talked about this before. You want to use the sideline as an extra defender, and if you're bringing up the side, right, they can come from here, and you're just starting with less floor balance, right? Because then if you're going from up there, right, we'll go back to red, then all your cutters are going to be from this side, right? And granted, someone can come here, but you just have less floor balance. So ideally, you want to bring the ball up in the middle, like Lamelo is here. And I think that could have had the pass to the guy on the left, right? I will say, if you're looking up, easy bounce pass here. Probably the ideal play, the number one option, right? So Lamelo needs to kind of keep his eye open for that. But still makes that nice decision at the end of it, right? He's cutting, nice little drop off pass there. Um, and we've talked about this before. If you can just get a foot in the paint, it makes the game so easy if you're a point guard. Because that being able to drive and kick is you know, it's the easiest way I think to be a good point guard right here, right? Because then again, you look at options. We kind of went over this with LeBron, but like the attention he's getting, right? There's four eyes on him, right? Just four eyes on LaMelo. Right, this guy's sticking here, but still looking, right? But we'll do this again. You have Cutter. You have the lob here, actually, to the guy who was originally cutting. If you can place the ball here, you can go up and get it. And you have this guy who's wide open for three. So three options off of LaMelo, just getting it and pushing it, being aggressive, and then he ultimately ends up making probably the second best read for the layup right there. On target, placing it where only his teammate can get it. Nice read, really simple play. It looks easy, looks boring, but these are the plays that you're gonna have to be able to run perfectly if you're gonna play at the next level, right? And he does a nice job of taking the double team. He has the size to be able to take the double team can still pass the ball over them, right? You could either come to a stop and have a wraparound pass, but he just has the height. You have big man stepping up, and he's still able to just look over them, which is one of the advantages of being a point guard that size, right? Nice simple pass, makes the nice read. And then obviously these are highlights, so there's going to be things he needs to work on: turnovers, defense, all things he's gonna have probably problems with in the NBA, as most point guards do when they first come into the league. You can see the defense there. Um, a little sloppy on the fast break. The thing we're gonna have to watch out on defense, especially in a highlight video like this, is he a good defender, or is he a defender that just gets steals and blocks? Because there's a difference, right? There's guys that get steals and blocks who aren't great defenders. So that's gonna be something we have to watch. Again, the hesitation. He likes going left a lot, which is interesting because he is a righty. But he likes going left and then being able to finish on the other side. Again, a little bit of a hezzy. Nice spin move here. Hang time, being able to attack the basket. He's not afraid of contact, and he's able to get to the basket, which is good. So his hesitation, right? His hezzy move and then going left seems to be his go-to move. Um, right. I think he's at a level where he's obviously good enough where he can kind of do what he needs to do on offense. Obviously, when you're playing against elite defenses in the NBA, coaches, scouts, and defensive players are going to pick up on that tendency. So he's going to have counters. One, for the hesitate to even work, he has to be able to knock down that shot. So let's say he goes in the NBA and he pulls a Trey Young where he just struggles shooting the ball, in the first couple months. That move's not going to work because teams are going to dare you to shoot and they're just going to back up. So he is going to have to make sure that, showcase that he can make that shot first for that move to work. And even when the shot falls, teams are going to be able to pick up on that move. That being said, it's definitely not easy to stop if you are making the shot again at 6'7", being a ball handler. But that does seem to be his go-to move. Going left, size him up, hezzy, attack left, finish right. It's great help defense here, right? Great help defense, having the awareness to help off his guy and get a block up high on a guy, going for a dunk without fouling. Right. I mean, look at the game. They're down 4 with 2.5 left. So huge stop here. Um, so that'll do it for now. We will definitely try to do one on Anthony Edwards, Denny Avija, maybe look at Devin Vasily. We're about a little less than a month from the draft. So yeah, stay tuned. Again, we got podcast episodes on division breakdowns for the offseason coming up as well. Um, don't forget to follow, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave any comments. Be greatly appreciated. And thanks for watching.